So as we discussed, the intro to this one is going to be a little bit harder.
Can you explain why?
Because this man that is sitting here in front of us, I talk to him on a daily basis.
True.
He's been a fire chief for a really long time. He also is a top performing sales rep for Howell Rescue Systems.
Partially true.
And it will become painfully obvious as we continue into this podcast, but I have no idea what is going to happen on this podcast because I have spent many a nights in stitches on the ground telling him to stop because my face hurts because I'm laughing so hard.
This is true.
He almost made dude throw up one time in the sink because he couldn't breathe because he was laughing so hard. Kyle died one time. I think he fell on the floor. It was great.
And dude is a person, not just a person.
Dude is
That's his name. Dude.
Maybe we'll have him on at one point.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's all true.
And then on top of all that, every now and again, we'll get real deep.
But you don't know when it's happening.
And there's some wisdom in there that most people don't know about.
Some. It's been once in a while. It creeps out.
Every now and
Buried.
then. It sneaks
Yeah.
up. So why don't we start with, most people hopefully at this point know who we are, myself and Jared.
We have a new background.
Why don't
New background.
Yeah, for anybody listening, we've moved spaces.
Is it promotion?
I don't know. It's different. We're trying
We'll
to
find
know.
out if it's promotion.
Jared looks really cool because he's got this really nice logo as a backdrop. So, yeah, we can talk about that later. But Mr. John Curcio, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit?
Wow. What an introduction. Thanks,
Welcome.
fellas. Yeah, John Curcio. I don't even know where to go. I am a fire chief. I'm proud of it.
How long?
Oh, well, 15 years.
Nice.
Volunteer fire chief. What that means to the world is you're silly enough to do it for free. And why? Just why? But it's fun. I've been a volunteer for 30 years, 15 of them being fire chief. I tell this story a lot just because I say that it's not because I'm the best, it's because I have a good party at the end of the year, and then you get the votes because they remember the party. It doesn't really happen that way, but it has been a ride. So, yes, fire chief, that's my hobby, I guess. My part-time job, my full-time job is here, Howell Rescue. Regional sales manager, if that's what the title is today. So that kind of played into, you're a fire chief, you play with all these cool tools and things. And now you go to work and you play with the same cool stuff. So doesn't make work. And then, that's kind of where we're at now. I was a career firefighter for a small stint, 10 years. That was fun. But maybe it wasn't for me. I like the volunteer stuff. It gave me a chance to go and utilize what I sell and be in the business. I think in the business, it's good to have that, at least be in the service. It just carries a little weight. Not that we all have to be, but I think it helps. Short of that, you guys know too much. Like I'm talking to you guys. So, I mean, it's not you.
Where are you at?
I am in southwestern Pennsylvania, Washington County, a little tiny place called Valley Inn Volunteer Fire Department. We're kind of by the river. It's just a little town. I would say it's rural. It's not a city. It's, we don't have hydrants on every corner. It's a couple highways, we're not that busy. 400 runs, no EMS, all fire, crashes, cats in trees, whatever. We'll get into that later. But, that's where I reside, right close to the firehouse in the little Valley Inn town, I call it. It's actually called Badeland if you get on a map. But we're in Valley Inn, Monongahela. I can go on and on. Carroll Township. It's got many names. I live there.
It's a weird place.
It is.
It's a weird place.
But I grew up there, so it's cool. I'm like, a mile from the fire station. Why did I do it? Well, a little bit more about me before I get into why I did it, because that's a whole story in itself. Lived there, my lovely wife. God bless her.
Shout out.
She
honestly,
she's a saint. She's the rock. 2 wonderful dogs.
Everybody knows you're swinging out of your league.
Yeah. Yeah, but, when you catch it, you run with it, and
That's
you
right.
keep going. I don't know. Everybody says that. Everybody tells her that. She needs to know that. So that's the shout out to Marcy. Beautiful wife, way out of my league, but I'm going to ride this wave as long as I can.
There you go.
So I just, I sent her a picture before this and said, podcast time. She said, you look so professional. I said, you have no idea about what's about to happen here.
Neither do we.
Yeah, no, you don't. So, so the volunteer world, I think it's been fun. It's been a journey, but that whole thing, like, why did you become it? Well, I don't know. No one in my family was. There's a bingo hall 7 or 8 houses up the street from me that our volunteer fire department has. At the ripe age of 12, probably before child labor laws, you were allowed to work at the bingo.
Nice.
So I started working at the bingo to make some money to buy candy or whatever. A lot of candy, as you can see. I worked a lot.
Some people just listen. You don't have to point it out.
Shut up.
Okay.
So
Continue.
I started working at the bingo hall and hanging out at the fire station with some of the firemen when I wasn't at bingo. So I turned 16 and joined. Thought it'd be fun. My parents, my mother thought it was a good thing. My dad thought it was a cult.
I mean,
Well,
it's not far off, really.
Yeah.
Still does.
Based on all the conversations we've had.
He still does. But at that point in time, I think, getting through high school, we hung out. That was our hangout. So when I didn't do anything else, I went to the fire station. So it kept me off the streets, kept me, it was good. And the chief at the time was my neighbor, and he was the chief for 25, 30 years. And when I joined, he said, you're going to be chief here someday. And I said, get out of town. He said, no, when somebody comes through the door and you go to training and you learn and you're always trying to be better and you're teaching people that have been here for years new stuff, he said, you're going to be. And I'm like, nah. So when I had the opportunity, I jumped at it. It was cool. And at the time, then I became a career firefighter, and I was like, well, I don't know about this. It was in the same county that I was the fire chief. I took on the career job, but then to me, it was I went to work and I could play as a fireman, and when I went home, I had to be the boss. As you know, in the volunteer world is wild because, yes, you're the boss, but sometimes you have to work because it could be just me. It could be me and 2 other people. It could be me and 1 other person. Mm-hmm. I could, there was a time that my first engine out of the door had a total combined age of like 170. So, like, this is what I got.
Damn.
And, again, there will be people in the business that would listen to this and say, well, that dude is crazy. And you have to be crazy to do this for free.
I believe that. Mm-hmm.
But to me, these guys want to give back to their community. There's a health thing. There's a risk. This old guy shouldn't be racing his body to get in a fire truck. But the community wants a fire truck to show up. They don't necessarily know what's going to be there. So, we talked a little bit, I think, last night when we were chatting at dinner about that quote about we didn't start this. All we can do is make it better. So if 2 70-year-old guys get off a pumper and that's all I can give, I get, that I got to make it better. They're not going to throw gas on a fire, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to drive the pumper, I hope, into the crashed car. So they're going to try to make it better. It's not the best. It's probably not the best model, but it worked for me. And it still works for me. I know there's training, there's standards, there's things that people need to do. And I try to enforce that, but in a volunteer world where you have to pick your battles. And, you know, the whole thing comes around full circle to me for funding. Like, I think the public doesn't know what they're getting.
Yep.
I think that taxpayers think that their taxes are funding us, and they're not.
Yep.
We get zero. So our municipality that we reside in gives us nothing. Some workman's comp that they have to provide. So the biggest thing is educating the public that, you know, you don't pay anything for us. You have I would say a $500,000 fire engine, but now they're $1 million fire engine, and that's a whole lot of tickets, hoagies, chicken barbecues, candy sales. They just don't know. So how can you provide 100% professional service based off how many pork sandwiches the community bought?
Yep.
Nothing gets cheaper. So you got to do the best that you have. And whether it's funding or personnel, you have to do the best with what you have. You have to play the cards. I don't have a hidden card up my sleeve. This is what I got. My job is to show up, make it better, and nobody get hurt and go home. If there's nobody, you know, this, and again, I can get slapped by my counterparts, and I don't really care. I have broad shoulders. If nobody died and we just put water on it and it didn't burn the next house down, that's the best I can do.
Yep.
Right? None of us want that fire with people trapped. None of us want that stuff to happen. It does. It weighs on you. But as long as you can leave there knowing we did everything we could to our level that we're trained to do, I can't ask for anything more. But that's a whole rabbit hole to go down about the volunteer world. And yes, we're pushing to get minimum standards and minimum training, and you got to have this to ride a fire truck. You know, back when I joined, it was, hey, you want to ride a fire truck? Yeah, here's a cool helmet. Get on.
Yeah. Yep.
Great. Cool. How much, you know, now you have to kind of police that yourself because there's no state mandated you have to do this. Ohio does things different. West Virginia does things different.
Yep.
We don't have that yet. Yep. Ohio and West Virginia, when I deal with customers in those areas, they're way ahead of the curve. Pennsylvania will get there, I think. But it's just a journey. It's fun at times. And at times, you know, I'm not going to say my level of compassion left. I try to make some of my members understand that if you continue to do what you've always done, they're going to continue to take advantage of you. And it's called the fire department, right? So when you say you're a fire chief, they go, ooh. And I go, you have no idea. But fires are like 10% of what we do. And there are some organizations that have changed the name to emergency services.
Yep.
Because really, a fire is a big deal. But there's so much other things we do. And the volunteer fire service continues to go down that road where, you know, when they don't know, they send the fire department.
Yeah. Yep.
So the fire department is basically electricians, plumbers,
Yep.
construction workers, animal rescue people. I'm trying to think of some other things that we've gone and done. Horse, cattle ropers, you name it. I tell a story. I've told a story many times about a bucket of crap. And this is true. And an old man told me this, an old fire guy, when I started, he told me about this bucket of crap. He said, you could put a bucket of crap on the side of the road. And somebody will call the 911 center or whatever, and they'll say, there's this bucket of crap. And, well, okay. So the 911 dispatcher goes, did the bucket of crap did it commit a crime? Don't need a cop. Is a bucket of crap breathing? No, doesn't need an ambulance. So the bucket of crap is there. They called the highway. They called the Department of Transportation and the highway services, public, whatever you want, township road department. No, it ain't blocking the road. Well, we'll send the fire department out for the bucket of crap, right? Because that's what they'll do. And we go out and look at it and goes, ooh, that stinks, bucket of crap. And we pick it up, put it in a garbage bag, take it back, throw it in a dumpster. That's
run.
That's the fire department.
Done. Yep.
Done.
Does that count as a run?
Oh, yeah.
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 Well, you said 400 calls a year, but you said 10% fires.
Yeah.
Even for you, 10% fires. So what does that include besides the bucket of crap?
Well, I would say I can't, without putting percentages out there, car crashes. Mm-hmm. Car crashes with or without injuries. Car crashes with hazards. If antifreeze, fluids on the road. Wires down, trees down. That's a pet peeve of mine. Trees down are just, it's a public works job, right?
Yeah.
It's weird. Pennsylvania is weird, granted. Because some roads are township roads, some roads are state roads. So the township road department will handle the township. The state will handle the state. The dispatchers don't know which is which, so they just say tree down blocking the roadway, and they send the fire department.
Yeah.
And it can get hairy. And that's a whole nother rabbit hole because unions get involved in grievances.
We're here for the rabbit holes.
You cut a tree down. The road foreman calls me and goes, "You cut a tree down last night on such and such a road." And I go, "Yeah, we did." And he goes, "Well, I'm going to have to file a grievance because I got 4 guys that wanted overtime. They didn't come out." I'm like, "Well, okay." So you call them, and here's the problem with that. You call them, and it's 3 hours. They got to come from home. They got to get a truck. They hit our pager.
Yeah.
I get there, 25 minutes, I cut a tree up, I'm back home in bed, done.
Yeah.
That's a 4-hour ordeal for them. And this is my mindset. I live on a dead-end street. So when I talked to this one particular individual, I said, I live on a dead-end street. You can have them. I don't need to go trees down. The men and women that I have don't need to be bothered with that. You can have them. You can have them all. But if a tree falls at the top of my street and then my father goes into cardiac arrest and the ambulance cannot get there because the tree's there because they're waiting 3 hours for you to get a truck and a chainsaw and a guy to get there, somebody's going to have to be liable. Mm-hmm. And if I'm notified that said tree is down and I don't do anything about it, and then somebody, whether it's my father or anybody on that dead-end street, something happens and I can't get a fire engine there or an ambulance there, that's me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm fine. The other thing was if they can't get anybody to come out, right? Nobody answered the overtime call. So then it falls back on me.
Yep.
So I tell them all the time, all or none. I don't really want to do them. Is that bad of me? No, I'm a public servant. We'll do about anything. So it's just one of my pet peeves. I used to tell my members that we're going to put in an AFG grant for a wood chipper and we're going to chip all these trees and sell mulch.
There you go. That's a good idea.
It's a fundraiser.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a good idea.
And some of my mutual aid laugh. They're like, "You ought to get that wood chipper." I'm telling you,
Yeah.
we could do it. So, but those kind of calls, gas odors, carbon monoxide calls, medical assists. We don't run an ambulance. We don't do ambulance EMS runs, but we do assist them on priorities, which is people not breathing, drownings, things like that. Mm-hmm. When they need an extra set of hands, or if they've got a delayed response, or if they need help lifting.
Is that dependent on the dispatch, or is that...
It depends on the dispatch.
Okay.
Yeah, in our county, if they come in a priority, which is someone not breathing or somebody unconscious, they automatically send the fire department.
Okay.
With the EMS.
Yeah.
So we're trained to basic first aid level. There is some medically trained people there, don't get me wrong, but we basically provide them an extra set of hands to do those kind of calls. So that's kind of encompasses it. And we run a lot of mutual aid because, like I said, I could get 2 guys today and I can get 12 guys tomorrow. I don't know. So we're running automatic aid for structural fires and automatic fire alarms and commercial fire alarms in a bunch of different districts because it may take 5 companies to assemble a decent crew. And there's a lot of fire departments in Pennsylvania. Trust me.
That was my next question.
It's actually the highest in the United States.
Yeah, there is a ton, and there's one literally on every corner.
Yeah.
So we run a lot of mutual aid we cover one township completely with another fire department. There's 2 of us in the township. There's, one on the west side, one on the east side. And then we cover 2 other townships with other companies. So one of them we have 5 companies in us, and then the other one there's 2 companies in us. And we kind of run all those together. Yeah. We district them out. We all have our home area, but it's just what works. You assemble your team of what you get, and I can't say what's bad and what's good. So I try to add 2 people on alarms because I could have a bad day. We could turn out nobody, or we could turn out 1, and that's going to happen. I can say that very rarely do we not turn out anybody. I have a few ladies and gentlemen that have worked shifts, so I know, I predominantly am working day shift and afternoons, but I'm home at night, and my assistant chief works midnights. Yep. So I know during the day he's usually around. He's sleeping. Yep. He hates me for it sometimes because he doesn't get any sleep. But I'm working, and sometimes I can't go. Yep. So that's just how it goes. But so you assemble all these people. Being part, one thing that what Jared and I were in that mastermind fire chief group, we talked about consolidation. Consolidation is a great word, like when you think about it operationally, but consolidation is the devil. In some of these fire companies because it's my island. Yeah. Stay off of it. And the questions that come up when you talk about consolidation would blow your mind. Like I say, RJ, we're going to consolidate fire departments. Us and Jared are going to go together and become one. What will we be called?
It's a real topic.
The next one is, what station number will be? All right.
These are high-level important topics that need to be sorted out.
Next, what color will the trucks be?
Oh, God.
This is no lie, and it's not just volunteer departments. Like, this is a real thing within career departments, everything.
Yeah, so I'm like, guys, gals, members, lend me your ear. We need to deliver a good product to the public. Public safety is why we're here.
Yeah.
By combining forces, you're combining funds, you're combining people. You're not duplicating equipment. If I need $1 million ladder truck, but they have one, why would I? So this is the kind of things that go on. And again, my counterparts around can listen to this, and I can get beat up for it, and that's okay. It's just a direction we're going. There's so many, and funding and stuff isn't getting any cheaper. Municipal funding is available for some. But when you start talking about it, they worry about the small things. Like it's the little things they get caught up in. And look, guys, if we're going to continue to do our mission, and I'm sure this happens everywhere, but it's like if you're going to do the mission and you're going to continue to do the mission, what's the best thing for the residents and visitors that are going to come through this town and where we protect? And if that's merging and consolidating and becoming one, some of these places have like 1 engine and 3 members.
Yep.
Like, what are you holding on to?
Right.
Do you want to deliver your product, or do you want to just say, well, we're still here? And those companies, I could be one of them. I don't know. I try to stay out of the noise in the background. I'm not one, like if they're talking about me when I show up and, oh, look at this band of jolly people that he showed up with. Like, okay, great. I mean, that's fine. But this is my jolly group, and they're going to do the best that I've trained them to do the job. We're here to help.
Yep.
Being a volunteer fire chief, you have to be, again, electrician, plumber, psychologist, family services advocate. You have to do all that. And you have to understand what everybody's level is. Hey, we need a hole cut in the roof. Don't send Kyle. Kyle ain't a roof guy.
Definitely don't send Kyle.
Yeah, he's 6'7".
Oh yeah,
He's
yeah.
huge.
Don't send Kyle. But they're like, well, and we need 2 guys to go to the second floor. Yeah. Don't send Jared nor RJ. No. Those are exterior guys. You need some ladders thrown. Need some hoses pulled. But all right, send Joe and Bob, because Joe and Bob, you have to muster them up. The other thing you have to learn is when you have all these people coming, you got to start picking out from other people's departments who's good at what.
Oh, man.
Because you're going to like, no, I don't like that dude. I don't like Cal because he comes from, East Djibouti Fire Department, and I don't even want him there. Like, he don't know what he's doing, but he's here to help. Squirrel. Really, there was a squirrel out there. I did that for Todd. So you don't know so you have to play this game. So you have to learn these people. And as I get older, I hate to say that, I am, new people get joined and I don't know their level.
Yeah.
I know the people my age, like, 40-ish. I know, but there's younger ones that are great and I don't know them. So you have to play that game. And again, I'm liable for them if I'm in charge.
Yeah.
So it's tough, and it's tough for everybody to operate the same way. And there's some companies north of Pittsburgh that are doing this joint operations thing where they know when they pull on scene the order of what they get there, what every truck is going to do. Because it's a chaotic scene when there's a house fire. That's a big deal for the volunteer fire department. We train for it. We're ready for it. It's chaotic. There's like 9 fire trucks showing up at one time on a single lane road. What are you going to do with them?
Yeah.
Right now.
Is it chaotic to everybody or just you guys running the call?
I don't think it's chaotic. It's an organized chaos. You have to keep your head clear, and you have to concentrate on what's going on. For the most part, everybody knows when they show up what they want to do, not what needs done, right?
Yep, exactly.
So you could get 900 people running to this burning house, but nobody has water.
Yeah.
Problem. Okay?
That's a problem.
And then you have to pull some people back and say, you guys need to stay here, because if something goes bad in there, I need you guys to get in there to get those people. So those people that you pull back got to be good.
Yeah.
So your great ones, you got to send a couple great ones, keep a couple great ones. And you can have automatic aid and automatic RIT teams and rapid intervention people coming. But at the beginning there, you got to say, I'm going to send 4 great ones in and keep 1 great one back with a couple mediocre people so they can go in if something bad happens.
Yeah.
And this all got to happen now. Do I got a ladder to building? Is there people in the building? Do I have water? I love pump operating. I love being an engineer. That's the most important job on the fire ground, because if you don't get water to the end of your hose, I don't care how aggressive you are. You're not going to talk it out. I mean, I could try to talk it out because I can talk, but you're not going to talk it out, right? So if nobody laid a line, and I said that group north of Pittsburgh, and I've been talking to some of those because some of them are customers of ours. How does it work?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what color the truck is, what number it is, who it is. They know the first engine in does this, the second engine in does this, the first truck in does this.
Thing.
And those are volunteer departments?
They're volunteer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if this is my area, but Monongahela's fire engine gets there first. They know what the first engine's supposed to do.
Yep.
How did they get to that point?
It took a lot of time and training.
Yep.
It took a lot of chiefs sitting around saying, this is what's best. So the other thing it does is radios. Like radios and communication gets out of hand, right? Every truck's calling, everybody's
for
calling,
sure.
everybody got a radio. They don't do that. They just show up. Like they know.
Yeah.
They listen. One truck's on scene, so I'm the second truck. So I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to park my truck out of the way and send my manpower up, support one truck's people. One engine's on scene. They're doing fire attack and rescue. The second engine got to bring my water supply. That's just if you have all these engines coming. But if they're not coming, something has to sub. So it's a whole lot. You can get down a rabbit hole with what if and what don't. But I think that as we get more in depth in the fire service, that has to happen. Because again, you're the band leader, right? I'm there, and I know what's coming. I kind of know who's coming. I kind of know, but again, you have to be calm. And some of us, There's some of my counterparts that aren't. I always think back to that comment. I didn't make this happen. I just can make it better.
Right.
And whether they're throwing kids out of windows at me or it's just a single residential fire, you have to keep yourself cool. If somebody's pinned in a car, you have to think straight. Like, okay, there's a car wreck. There's someone in there, right? All right. What are we going to do? Well, we got to make sure the car don't flip over or fall more or crash more or move. And we got to get them out. But we better think about the traffic, right? I'm still on a road, right? So somebody got to block this traffic because we can't get run over while we're doing this. So there's little jobs that need to be done. And as the people go through the service, I think they start to learn these things. It's not like I have a checkbox in the back of the truck that says traffic control, stabilization, patient. But I think they know that. But these guidelines for fires, and again, we can get caught up on fires for a long time, but there's so much more we do, right? So you have to train people how to fight fires. And then you have to train them how to direct traffic, and you have to train them how to cut trees down, and you have to train them how to use gas detection, and you have to train them how to run a fan, and you've got to train them how to put out a grass fire. And then you have to take some and train them how to run the equipment, like how to pump a truck and how to do. So there's so many jobs that need to be filled.
Yep.
I say this, and again, I can get beat up for it, but I don't like to turn anybody away in a business that's dying. And for every 5 that join, 1 stays. So you get 1 good one, 1 mediocre one.
Yeah.
The other 3 go. You have a couple that join because their buddies are there. Yep. And that's what I encourage. Like, why don't you get your buddies to join? Because then you guys will hang out. And it's harboring that place, and we currently don't have it. We're working on some things for new building and some things we're trying to do because we don't have a place just to hang out. And like kids these days and young ones want a place they can hang out, watch TV, play video games. When you have that atmosphere, you know, there's a cliche or a whatever fire department, a staffed house is a fast house. And it's right. Where there's a paid fire department and people are there, they're out the door fast.
Yep.
In reality, well, I go to bed at 9 o'clock, so not for me, but at midnight, They tell us there's a fire. I have to get up, get dressed, drive to the fire station, get dressed again, get on a fire engine, drive to the fire. So that's like 5 minutes. But if people are there, they're out the door, right? But that's the volunteer world we live in. And having an atmosphere that they can hang out. You know, Anthony has a nice place over there. So he has like a lounge and TVs and stuff. So they cater to that. And they have some people living in. And I don't know if we'll get to that point where I am, but you have to have a place. So when you get people who want to join, there's a place they can hang out, do their homework, have internet, all that stuff. I had it, but we didn't really have much when I joined. But we just kind of sat on the bay and chatted and hung out, threw basketball, washed our car. And it's great. Volunteer fireman in high school had to clean his cars because there was free water, free hose, free soap. So they wash their cars 3 times a day.
Sure.
And they didn't want it to get dirty.
You made a comment. You said...
You wrote it in red. You see it?
Which times?
The business is dying.
Yeah.
Explain.
I think I think the volunteer side of the business is dying, and not because it wants to. I think the middle-aged and older fellas that started this and ladies that started this process, the young ones aren't buying into it. There's a handful, but it's pushing towards, you know, you're going to have to. It's dying on 2 levels. It's dying because not everybody wants to sign up to do this, and it's dying because of funding. Used to be able to operate on chicken barbecues and bingos. Now you're just trying to keep going with what you have with grants and funding. You're trying to keep your stuff going, but what happens is somebody wants to be a firefighter. They come down, they want to be a firefighter, and I say, okay, great, we can do this. Sometimes it's, how much do I get paid? Well, occasionally I get you a T-shirt and a hat, maybe a sticker for your car. You know, free pop maybe. I don't know. Soda for those folks that are listening from other places.
It's soda.
Yeah. But they don't. That's the next thing is, well, you need to take training, and I don't even know the numbers. It's maybe 180, 200 hours of training, basic firefighting training to get the basic stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So you need 200 hours of training, which is going to encompass every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday for like 4 months of your life. Okay. And then, you want to drive a truck. Okay, that's more training and another 16 hours. Then you want to cut people out of cars. Okay, that's another 40 hours of training. Oh, okay. Oh, and by the way, we have company meetings twice a month. We have fire school 3 times a month. And we have fundraisers you have to do. Here's some tickets to sell. We have a gun raffle coming up. The ladies auxiliary is having the hoagie sale. They're doing so when you sign up, you won't see home. That's how it's going to be. Do you still want to volunteer? I thought I'd just ride on that red truck. Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
And I won't not let you. I'm just going to say there's a lot that goes into it. And it takes an army. Wait, I have people in my organization that solely raise funds.
Yeah.
It's what they do.
Yep.
And they want to sign up. I don't want to go on a fire truck, but I'd like to help with the events and okay. And I don't really want to go on a fire engine, but I'd like to keep the building clean and wash the fire engines. Okay. Great. We need those people.
Yeah.
But it's dying because of funding, and it's dying because of lack of manpower. People don't want to volunteer. In 1963, we were established. A lot of it back then was a single income household. Mom was home with the children. Dad worked. Dad joined the fire company. That was his evenings, his weekends. And now there's 2 spouses working. They have to. Mm-hmm. Somebody has to manage the children. Somebody has to manage the house. There's just not enough time. The world, I see it now. It's a busy society, right? We're busy. Everybody's busy. And now you have to drop what you're doing and go. So, people that are in the business know. And the paid guys, I'm not overshadowing them. That's their job. They're there. The volunteer people, how many times did you miss Christmas morning? How many times did you miss your kid's birthday because there was a fire? And we know there's a core group. I could say I have like 35 or 38 people on the roster, and I have about 15 that participate.
Yeah.
When the bad call comes in, when the fire comes in, when it says structure fire, now you get a little more. But at 3 a.m. when there's a tree down, you get a little less.
Yeah.
I have to get up. I have to go to work. And there's people that have been doing it for years, and God bless them, and kudos to the men and women at my fire department that do it, because that breed is, I think, dying, and the funding is dying. You have to roll the dice and try to get FEMA money to buy some stuff. So it's kind of, I don't know where it's going to go. 15, 20 years, people say it's going to be over. There's going to be no more volunteer fire service, and I don't know if that's the case. You have some people that really believe in it.
Yeah.
And you have some, I have some OGs. Like I got some old guys, and they hold on to what they built. Like they built the fire station.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? They raised all the money to get it to where it is, and you have to play with that a little bit to say, listen, we know you did, and I respect that, and I want your advice, I want your opinion, but in order to operate it more efficiently and move forward, we have to operate this fire department like it's 2025, not 1980.
Yep. That
goes in training, equipment, funding, and how you run the business model of your fire company. Because you still, if you do, I say this, it's probably, been said many times. If you do what you always did, you're going to get what you always got. Well, we got to get past that.
Yep.
We got to get to a better service. And if it means merging, okay. If it means giving people stipend for answering calls, okay, it's a step in the right direction.
Yep.
Pennsylvania's doing some stuff. They're trying to give tax breaks where your municipality can give volunteer fire department income tax breaks, property tax breaks, school tax breaks. So it's an incentive to do it. But then you have to go to your municipality and get the politicians to buy into it and sign it.
Yep.
It's trivial, the amount of money that they were going to lose, but you're paying taxes on your house. They're taxing us for everything. So if you could save a little, it's a little bit. I don't have the money to pay people,
Right.
but it may come to that.
So the model's dying.
I think.
So if you say the model's dying and, you wave a wand and you had all the answers, what's the answer? What's the solution in your opinion? This is not, we don't need to carry it anywhere else, but if you took a guess, what model would that be?
I don't know. I've seen quite a bit of different models between starting to know better about what Ohio does and what has happened here, and being part of talking to chiefs in Ohio and hearing how that goes. I don't know what model would work for Pennsylvania. I just know that number one, they have to have consolidated fire departments that put all their resources together and then figure out how to fund that. Is it a countywide fire service? I don't know.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of people that want to volunteer, right? There's still a core group that want to do it. I think they can supplement something that's funded, whether it's countywide or statewide. If I had to wave a wand and do it tomorrow, it would be, I don't know if it would be a countywide. Maybe it would. The county would, like Maryland, PG County, some things that they do. The county puts fire engines and ladder trucks and rescues strategically in different places, some in volunteer houses, but the volunteers can still buy an engine and supplement. So they know that their county is covered, but the volunteers are supplementing. And getting that to jive, there's going to be politics and personalities and things that probably get involved, but could it work? It might. In our area, if we were going to make it work and put a career fire department in, all the municipalities could get together. Like, for instance, we talked about it back home with the school district, all the fire departments becoming one fire department. And then if every municipality put money in a bucket, said, well, we can afford to pay 5 guys. This is what we're going to do. And that puts people in certain areas to run and supplement. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what it would even do. But it's coming to that. And I think the elected officials in each area are starting to see that, but it's slow. It's a slow process.
Because Pennsylvania's weird.
Yeah, not quite as weird as Canada, but we're weird.
Fair point.
I'm from Arizona, so we're good.
We can't talk about that right now.
Pennsylvania has the identity of volunteer, correct?
Yeah.
And primarily because Benjamin Franklin and the history of volunteer departments came out of Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
right?
I think Benny's still running an engine company out in Philly, probably.
But it's interesting, even as you're talking about, hey, the name of the department, color of the rig, what is my title, those are all identity things.
Yeah, it's a pride thing, right?
Well, it is, and you have to. If I'm going to get involved with that, I've already said it. If it's going to better our service to our residents, I'll swallow my pride. I don't care if I'm the chief. I don't care if I'm nothing.
Right.
Yes, I pound my chest like a monkey and I say, yes, I'm the fire chief. I'm not that chief. And if it's going to be better, if they say, well, maybe you shouldn't be, we should have one chief here and you could, whatever. I signed up at 16 to help the community, to get the T-shirt and to ride the red truck. Okay?
Yeah.
And it's fun. It has snowballed into a career. When I left the career fire service and now I do this, it's still a career. Why am I here? Well, I'm here. I'm at Howell Rescue because of the fire thing, right? The thing that my dad said, I ain't going to work. It's called, go to parades and drink beer. That's what it is. So it turned into a career. And if tomorrow I wasn't the fire chief, when I'm available, I'm still going to go jump on a red truck and do whatever I can. Am I going to be an interior fireman? I don't know. Can I drive a truck? Yeah. Do I hold the training certificates that say I can minimally do all of those jobs?
Yeah.
Yes. I diversified myself so that, as a fire chief, I think I can't be an expert in everything, but I can know a little bit about everything so that nobody gets hurt.
Yeah.
So, to take that away from me, that's not going to be a stumbling block for me. Like, I'm not going to hold it up. I don't care. It's not that I don't care. It's that if that's going to make our product better, then that's what we do.
Yeah.
So you detach the identity part from your standpoint, but we're also talking about the other departments, the other people involved that have to detach that identity in order to reach to the purpose.
In order to get to the common ground, you have to get away with this. You have to do away with this is my kingdom. And you have to say this is our kingdom. And people that are thinking it's their kingdom aren't thinking about Mrs. McGillicuddy at 3 a.m. Right. They're thinking about this is all me. It's me. It's a I can't say that on a podcast, but it's a measuring competition, and I'm not. It's not about that. If you truly are here. And I had this conversation a couple months ago. I'm here to help the public, however I can. Unfortunately, some of these organizations turn into a fundraising organization that gets to go to fires because we have to do that in order to go to fires. And some people have lost sight of why I signed up.
Yeah.
And why did you? I asked that of my counterparts. Why? Yeah. You're the chief. You're a great chief. Why did you sign up? Did you sign up to raffle stuff online?
Right.
Did you sign up to raffle guns? Did you sign up? What did you sign up to do? Well, I signed up and got through the training so I could help people and protect property. Okay, well, remember that. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Because when you lose sight of that, you've the mission is gone. Like the mission is people. The mission is the public. Do I want to wake up at 3 a.m. and go out because someone's CO detector's going off? No. I have to go to work the next day. Well, yeah, but you don't have hours. You don't punch a clock. Granted, let's not focus on me, but somebody has to go.
Yeah.
What causes them to lose sight of that mission? They join to volunteer. They join to whatever the reason is. But what have you experienced from people losing the sight of the mission, the sight of the purpose, whether it's a chief, whether it's a engineer, whoever it is? What does that cause?
I don't know.
Oh, you do?
I'm not sure why they lose. I just think that
you don't want to say it. You don't want to say it.
No, I don't know. I think there's plenty of reasons, but I don't know why. Sometimes people get caught up in the day-to-day business operations and forget about why they came. Some people think that the day-to-day business operations and raising funds is more important than putting a fire truck on the road. And some people, they chastise folks who don't come to fundraising events, but the same person that's not doing that is answering bad emergencies when I need help. I can't say that fundraising isn't important. I think that some people are losing sight of what. Yeah, and if I have a 1977 American LaFrance pumper, it's going to throw water like a 2025 Pierce pumper will. Okay. If my truck is dirty, it's going to throw water.
We're going to get pushback on that.
No, we won't. We won't get pushback on that.
You just wait to the comments section.
We only have 17 people listening.
That's true. Those 17 people are
going,
really up and
we're
on
good.
about that.
What I mean by that is, like, yes, you have to keep advancing with your equipment, but I know some fire departments that are running an old pumper that will put water out the same way that a brand new one will.
Yeah.
And we all would love to have a brand new one, but we can't, right? When you take into a fire department with 35 members that need to raise $1.2 million to buy a fire engine.
It's a lot of chicken.
That's a lot of chicken. You got to start selling pictures of your feet and stuff so that you can make money. Not mine.
No.
Don't be mistaken.
Oh man. So is the problem that it's become? It's not even anything that I guess the fire service in general. Like, who do you put blame on, right? Because everything continues to get more expensive. So the problem is fundraising has become too big of a part.
Well,
it takes up too much time because it's necessary.
It had to. So in a recent, you had to, because you have to pay. You got to keep the lights on. You got to pay the
Right.
bills, and there's minimal amount of funding going around. And that's in my situation. There's departments all across the state. Some of them get funding, some of them don't.
Yeah.
Those are arguments and fights that they've had with their municipalities, and they've won, right? It had to, and unfortunately, that's what happened. So in a conversation with an elected official at one point in time, I said a couple things. Like the first thing I said was, it takes a lot of time to do this, and they're volunteering their time. I would rather them volunteer their time to hone their skills as a firefighter and go to emergencies than to volunteer their time to figure out what we're going to raffle off next.
Correct.
And how we're going to pull this off.
Yes.
So eliminating that burden makes better firefighters.
Yeah.
How do you eliminate that burden? Money. Yeah. So then I also posed him a question too. I said, go over there in that office over there and tell that police chief to go out and stand on a corner and sell Huggies to get his bulletproof vests. Whoa.
Yeah.
Tell that director of public works if he wants a new snowplow, he got to sell 500 gun tickets.
Yep.
Right. So if you go to your taxpayers and you say, hey, we're cutting the police department. It's genocide. We need 24-hour police protection. And we do. It's important. I want them. That's why I pay taxes, right?
Yep.
We are getting rid of our public works. Ooh, who's going to plow the snow? I know you don't know about that. It's Arizona. I get it. But it snows over here, okay?
What does that look like?
Well, yeah, it falls. You ever
It's
watch?
like sand, right?
No, Public Works is the company that tells you when you can water your yard over where you're at. That's
Yeah.
Public Works.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
different.
It's
a little different over there.
They,
We don't have water.
Well, I know. So they have to plow snow. So I say, cut them, and then they go, who's going to plow the snow? Who's going to put salt on the road so I can get to work?
Yep.
Oh, you can't cut them. And if they said I'm cutting the fire department, what are you cutting? If I said we closed, and then we're the bad guy, right?
Yep.
The Valley Inn Fire Department has closed. Oh. They'll go to the township and go, how can you let them do that? And well, we and it's a deeper rabbit hole, because the municipality level, Pennsylvania being the keystone state, it pushes the power back down to the municipal level. The municipality has a right to provide fire protection for their residents. So it falls on them. They skate around it, but they have to provide fire protection.
So, okay, wait a minute. So ultimately, it's the municipality's responsibility to provide, in the state of Pennsylvania specifically, it's their responsibility to provide fire protection to their service area.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, you guys are doing all your own fundraising and spending X number of hours every week
Correct.
Yeah,
doing that.
If it's that law, what actual responsibility?
Yeah, is this a situation where, like, just over the years, the municipalities or whatever have just decided that, well, if we just don't do anything, the fire department will figure it out?
I think it's got to that point. I think that the way I see it is, the squeaky wheel will get the grease, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you squeak enough, eventually they'll throw something at you, and they're like, just throw them $25,000 and they'll shut up. We won't hear from them for 5 years. And then in some places that's what happens. But if you continuously push them, like what are they going to, like these guys aren't going away.
Yeah.
Now they know we're there, and they do stuff. Like I'm not going to say they do nothing. They have workman's comp they pay and things like that. But they have to, because we work for them. We become employees of them when the alarm goes off.
Yeah.
But I just think that for so long we've been so quiet. They're like, yeah, they just do their own thing. They're fine.
Yeah. And you guys get state money.
If you apply for it, yes.
Yeah. So that's
Most people get some, but it's trivial.
Yeah.
So the state grant may bring you $20,000.
yeah.
But that's all individually, right? So that's the responsibility of the individual, has no connection to the department, correct?
What, the state money?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the fire department applies for it and gets it in.
Okay.
as far as grant funding.
Okay.
Yeah, you get the grant funding to get it, but it allows you to update some equipment, or you can pay off loans or debt reduction or facilities.
Okay.
But you have to apply for it, and it's not a hard process. It may get better, and the funding has increased, but there's so many things that they could tie to it and make it better, or what. And I don't know what the answer is, but
Well, and $20,000 doesn't, for anybody that isn't intimately involved in the fire service, $20,000 does not go very far.
no.
Toilet paper? I mean,
Yeah.
20 grand would maybe cover most of the fuel for the year. Really. I mean,
Yeah.
it's trivial things that you don't think about. Tires. I just put 4 tires on. It was like $4,000 or something like that, $3,000 for tires.
and you actually need tires.
Well,
So-
you can drive without them. It's kind of rough, but you can get
tried
there
it.
eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, it's those things, maintenance and upkeep and things, and I don't. There's other models that may work, but it's all based around funding and staffing, and manpower and
that's crazy, because if you look at the purpose and the mission, and you can understand why people get so attached to the funding side, because it supports the mission.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't get lost in the supporting mission and the mission. That's hard for people.
Well, I think like circling back around to your question as to, why it's gotten this way or why it's failing. I think everybody, for the most part, that joins, especially on the volunteer side, career's a little different, but you're only going to go through that 4 months of basic training, lose your weekends and nights and whatever, if you really want to do it. Like you really want to help. So when you get through that and then you're on the department, you're going to do whatever you can to help your community, because that's why you signed up. If that is fundraising, then that's what you're going to do.
It's kind of that's what happens when you sign up. And I would love it in a perfect world that we just went to fires and trained.
Yeah.
But it's not there. And again, you have to entice people to go to training, but I can't pay you. You want to be better?
Yeah.
You want to be better? I got in at a time when training was not that expensive, and we'll pay for it. If somebody wants to come to crash course for a class, we'll pay for them to go. We have a little bit of money in a side account. It's a whole relief association thing. That's a whole nother story. But it will pay for training and some equipment. So we could send people to training if they want to go.
Yep.
And people do, and I welcome that. I hate, as a fire chief, I never want to say no. Like, no, you're not going to that training because Jared Buckley's teaching it. He don't know what he's talking about. I mean, I don't.
Well,
wanna,
that's
maybe
I
not.
mean,
I don't want to do that. I need you want to go learn? Okay, voluntarily, you're telling me you want to go be a better firefighter. Okay,
Great.
go.
Yeah.
I've got to the point where we bought another vehicle so that, it's an older vehicle, but it's just, a Suburban. But not like Jason's. But it's a Suburban, and that's like one of the biggest things about getting that was the best I can do is give you a vehicle to go to training. You don't have to drive your own. You need to go 2 nights a week and Saturdays, take it. I don't need it. It's not like functional, operational for everything we do, but it's the least we can do to say, just throw your stuff in there and take it. Go to training. So that's, we'll pay for the training either up front or after, depending on the circumstances. And you only do this, and it's a shame that we're here, but you only do this because somebody goes through trainings that you paid up front and they don't finish. They don't go to half the class and they don't graduate. And then that's like, but some trainings you have to pay ahead, like crash course. If they're going to come, I can't make them pay for that out of their pocket. Right. But you better go. And if you don't go, you're going to have to pay us back. Yeah. Unless your puppy's having kittens or something crazy's happening or your fish needs fed and you can't go. I mean, I get it, but you need to tell me that ahead of time so I can try to fill that spot.
Your puppy's having kittens.
That's it's a weird one.
It happens.
It's a weird one. Shameless plug. Crash Course weekend is this weekend.
Tomorrow.
It starts tomorrow.
Yep.
And it will be wet.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
It'll be realistic.
Realistic?
Yeah.
No, pouring down rain. Johnny, don't get out the truck. see them cars over there? Get them people out.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, it will be real. We've done it before.
Yeah.
It's an adventure.
We did it in a hurricane last year.
I've done it in a hurricane. I've done it freezing. I've done it 90 degrees. I've done it in a dust storm. Yeah. Fortunately, I've been asked to come back and I enjoy it. I don't, it's one of them things where you can't just say, okay, now we're going to push it to the next weekend, rain date. You can't.
No.
The logistics that go into that, the show must go on.
We have 200 firefighters coming out, and we have over 40 instructors here, 150 vehicles.
Yep.
This is a big event.
But it's that, like, take it back to the volunteer world. How do I sell that?
Yeah.
How do I sell that price?
I wrote down this question. What do you sell more, as a volunteer fire chief or as your day-to-day job? Which one do you sell more and which one's more difficult?
Well, I mean, I sell more. I'm a salesman, right? So that's what I do. But you have to sell certain things in the volunteer world. So we want to go to Crash Course.
Yep.
I want to send you to Crash Course. It's just because it's your company. That's why you want. No. I want to send them because this is some real world stuff they'll never see. And I sell it as, if we can send 2 folks there, this is probably the elite, if not the best vehicle extrication training they're ever going to see. Not because I can't teach you how to do this stuff, but because I don't have the resources to put vehicles in these positions to do it, right?
Right.
We may never see a car underneath a tractor trailer, ever. Mm-hmm. We may never see a car hanging off a building.
Yep.
But if you remember it and you learned something, you may be able to use it for something else. So I sell it by saying they're never going to get to go there again. They're never, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, maybe a couple times, depending how things go through. But the job of the firefighter that comes here is, when you come home, we're going to put cars outside and you're going to teach what you learned. Mm-hmm. Something you learned, you come back and bring it to us.
Yep.
Because that's the benefit. Like, yes, we invested $4,000 to go to Crash Course, but when you come back, I want you to be able to show us what you learned. So you have to sell that. Why do we need a new pumper? You have to sell that. So I become a salesman in a meeting saying, I'd like to buy these new whatever. So I've been doing it now for 15 years. I have a bullet point list of why I want to buy something when I bring it up, because I know the powers that be are going to ask a million questions. Why?
Yeah.
So I answer it before they even, this is getting older. This is this. This technology here will make the firefighter's job easier.
Yep.
In the long run. And then you can go down the hole of maintenance and upkeep and, all those things that the reason I'm out on the field, I'm out selling these products this is why I think we should get this. And something as trivial as turnout gear. You have to buy new turnout gear, right?
Yep.
And they could balk at that price. Oh my, it's $4,000 a set.
Yep.
Okay. Listen, guys, gals, OGs in the back, 2 old guys from the Muppets sitting in the back. I want to tell you, one of the only things we can do here is provide them with the best covering that we can give them, because they're coming here for free.
Yep.
And I want to make sure they come home.
Yep.
So if it means spending a little extra money to provide them with the best outer garments they can have, because I can't pay them, but I better be damn sure they're protected.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack with that.
This is a really good topic.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, we're diving into the training, the preparation, the resources to provide for firefighters so that they can do the job.
And they're choosing to be there.
Yeah.
And it's, you get into that whole divide, paid versus volunteer and all that. And I don't think nobody's right or wrong, but there is a merit that you can't ignore to somebody choosing to be there for free.
The idea of volunteer and the idea of service,
Yeah.
like providing a service, whether you're career or volunteer, you are providing a service.
Correct.
At a sacrifice and putting a risk on the table. Why? Humanity. Like it's that deep.
Yes, and it takes a special person to want to do that. Whether I'm getting a paycheck or I'm not.
Right.
Yeah.
First of all, hey, for $55,000 a year, we're going to pay you to run into that burning building and get that cat.
Yeah.
Puppy? Okay. What?
Depends on who has
You know
it.
what? That sounds fun.
Yeah.
That's the one you watch. But, there's people that will do it.
Yep.
And now I'm gonna ask you to do that for free. That's a special person, right? And we're out there, but there shouldn't be a divide. There has been, and I think that'll get better. It's like you chose to do this,
Yeah.
and some people chose to do it and then walked it through to become a career.
Yeah.
But they
Yeah,
started
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So they didn't forget where they came from. Is there some people that just take a test, get hired, become a firefighter? And I know some people like this from my past that was their job.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I'm a firefighter. That's what I do, right?
Yeah.
So I go to work for 24 hours and I go home. They weren't engrossed in the business. It
Right.
was just their job, right?
Right.
And that's okay. As long as you're trained and you can do it. But
You probably get some of that on both sides too.
you do. But I think, I've known fellows like that. They didn't really come from that. But it's gotten better, the trainings that you can have beforehand,
Yeah.
what they do. If they, like a big city does hire you, they put you through their academy, and now it becomes your career. And then you're engrossed in all the other stuff that all of us have, the tradition, the history, all that. You get all that. One of the things that Pennsylvania's curriculum does, I think the beginning of it, they teach you about the history. They teach you about the fire plugs. They teach you about old Benny Franklin from Engine Company 1. They teach you about all that.
I just learned about plugging what do you call it? Throw a plug or something?
Fire plug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just learned about that the other day, actually.
Yeah.
It's fascinating
Look it
shit.
up. And
Do you know about that?
What?
Go ahead.
It's a
It's
fire-
really interesting, actually.
fire plug. They call a fire hydrant a fire plug.
But tell them why.
Fire.
Well, because years ago when they had wood and water lines, they would drill a hole in the water line for a fire, and then after they drilled the hole and used the water for a fire, they'd put a wooden plug back in it, so that next time if they needed it, they could just pull the plug and get water. So that's why a fire hydrant can also be known as a fire plug.
Crazy, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Yeah.
The more you know.
That's a good tidbit out there for anybody listening. That was a fun one.
And just Kyle was like a fire plug. Same size.
Same size.
Why is Kyle like a fire plug?
Look, he's like short and stout.
No, he's 6'7".
This is the best part because nobody knows.
Nobody knows who Kyle is.
Nobody knows how
I know.
big
They
or
need
small.
to know about Kyle.
No.
Oh, they know about Kyle.
We're helping, but not seeing. They have to imagine.
Yeah. I think we're going to open up a drawing contest at
Yes.
some point
Yes.
for people to submit what they think Kyle looks like.
A drawing.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Better draw Kyle.
Yeah. Dow Kyle.
Dow Kyle. So yeah, but they teach that history and they keep it going. And who knows? I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know where the service will go.
I don't think anybody does.
I know that I'm going to continue to do it as long as my body and my mind allow me to do it. But it's kind of my career. So living in it and working in it, it's fun. I still love it.
So you not only are a volunteer fire chief, but you also work with many departments, and not just to sell. You guys, and this is one of the reasons why Howell Rescue and Crash Course Village is such a big thing with me, is you guys serve the fire service. You've been around. You've seen a lot of things. There's a theme that I've heard over the last few years, not just Pennsylvania, but the fire service as we know it is changing and has to change.
Yeah, I think so. I've read that. I've read that in articles. I've picked that up on things. It has to. I don't know what that looks like. I just know that it's never going to go away, right? It can't. But the way the product is delivered is going to have to get different. And it's different. Like fighting fires today is totally different from fighting fires in 1950.
Right. For
sure. So the training is different. Cars. Yeah.
Yes.
We know the 12, 6, 8 firefighters that might listen, talking to you, know that you will pull up now on a terrible car accident and the person will be sitting on the side of the road. Unscathed.
Yeah.
10 years ago?
Nope.
No bueno.
Yeah.
So the industry's building stuff safer. Now, when somebody cannot get out,
Yes.
it's harder to get them out
Yes.
because of how they've built these. So that part is getting harder.
Correct.
Fires are burning faster. Fires are burning hotter. As beautiful and as expensive as this big house that they are building is, it's filled with polymers and crap that burn real fast and don't withstand the heat of an old timber house.
Yep.
That element is so crazy to me because the amount of emergencies by manufacturer have gotten better, but the extremity of it. So less calls, but more significant calls, or many more variables. Let's say it that way too. Variables that, hey, this new invention, I don't know how to get trained in it, or I don't know what this is going to do.
Yep.
So the unknown has increased significantly. And the fire service has to be on the cutting edge of all inventions in order to understand how to problem solve certain calls.
And it's a continuing education thing. It's you have to, as a line firefighter or an officer, what I learned when I joined at 16 is not the same.
Yeah.
And things are different, which goes back to that selling equipment. If I have to sell equipment to my own department, it's because we can't use the stuff we used 20 years ago.
Correct.
It may still work, but things are happening differently. And they're doing things better. They're making things lighter. They're making things more efficient. So those kind of things have to happen. But you have to have the funding to make them happen. Can a fire hose and a nozzle put a fire out? Yes, you could put a fire out with your garden hose, right? To a point. But there's better ways to do it. So, and they keep building buildings and cars and things differently. So we have to keep reacting to those. So you want to try to be ahead of that reaction. You know, car crashes are a big example. New construction is a big example. But it's things that people are doing, like residential sprinklers. You know, put them in the houses. Why are residential sprinklers in a house? Well, because you know, it may keep a pot on the stove that's on fire, a pot on the stove that's on fire. Or residential sprinklers will buy you enough time to get you and your family out. The house can be replaced.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, a pot on the stove on fire, again, when it takes me 15 minutes to get there, now becomes a full-blown building fire.
Yeah.
When if I was staffed, it could have been a kitchen fire
Yeah.
or a pot on the stove. All those play into it. But an older house will burn a whole lot slower than a new house, just the way they build them. You have to be cognizant of that.
Yeah, that's not even like the residential sprinkler systems. Nobody. That was on zero people's radar.
Oh.
Unless you were in like a, you know, multifamily and it's a rental or whatever, code violations, but that was on nobody's radar. Up until recently.
Yeah.
But there's so much that when you can go down that rabbit hole, and there's been many arguments, and I'm a proponent. I say do it.
Yeah.
For the overall price of what it's going to cost, yes. But then, like in Pennsylvania, Ohio, it gets cold, right? So you have to prevent them from freezing, and then you're going to have a mess anyway when they break.
Right.
So there's a whole, and I'm sure the scientists and the building people can figure that all out. I'm not one of them, but there's things out there that are available, you know. But all in all, it's an adventure.
Yeah, well, it's, you know, you mentioned, and I'm bringing this up because we talked about this last night at dinner. Being a firefighter, or at least the good ones, are just really good. Like, if you boil it down really far, they're just really good problem solvers.
Right.
Right? And you talk about all the things that, like, and this is, I think, what fascinates me about any industry, really, but the more you take a lot of things for granted just because you don't know, right? So, like, if you're a good firefighter, you can look, like some of the guys I've talked to, you can look at a house that is on fire from the outside and there's just smoke or whatever, but the way the smoke is coming out the window or whatever, you can tell exactly where in the house the fire is and what it's going to do next. It's really cool stuff. So I think there's a lot of people out there that don't realize how much training or whatever, how much technical knowledge you have to be a good firefighter.
Yeah, well, and you have to learn everything. You have to know electric. You got to know plumbing. You got to know water. You have to know. You know, reading a building is something that there's plenty of classes, and there's great people out there that teach them.
Yeah.
Reading smoke, and you're not always right. None of them burn the same.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I'm probably not an expert at it. I can honestly say that. I've done a little bit of training on it, but enough that, you know, this color smoke's bad, turbulent smoke's this. So, you know, I'm not 100% great, and I'm not great, like I said before, at any of those tasks. I just try to know enough to not get anybody hurt and to try to mitigate the situation. Yep. The whole fire service is about mitigating problems. It doesn't matter what the problem is. If it's a car crash, if it's a water leak, if it's a fire alarm, if it's a gas leak, whatever. You're just mitigating that problem and on to the next. Pick up, move to the next one.
So this is where the bucket of crap on the side of the road comes into play.
Yeah.
I mean, in the grand scheme of it, you are mitigating problems. You're problem solving, but also add into the factor with limited resources.
Sometimes
every time. It depends on what that definition of limited resources is. There's always something, and this is what I've experienced from firefighters, there's always something that probably could help the situation more, but the reality is you just don't have it, so you got to figure out what you have and utilize that. So you might just have duct tape. Well, go for it. Figure it out. You might not even have a rig. You might not have water. What do they do? Just walk away? No.
Well, yeah, I mean, you might not have the perfect tool for the job. You might not know what it is, but firefighters have that knack for figuring it out
Yes.
somehow with what they know they have, right? And nobody trained you to do some of this stuff. You know, you're talking, you know, a municipal fire department that fights fire that has a hydrant on every corner versus somebody like me that have to bring the water with me. And you only get this much, right? Until you find more. You brought some water. You get a little more. You got to get support to do that. What do we do until, well, you better have a plan, right? Or down the duct tape. You know, I don't know if we have that, but something as trivial as this, you know, because, you know, duct tape, one of the incidents, duct tape. Where did I use duct tape? Keys in a storm drain.
No shit.
Call the fire department. I dropped my keys in a storm drain in the Walmart parking lot. Well,
Call the fire
how
department.
do we fix it? Well, you try to pull the storm drain out. You can't. It's paved over 10 times. You can't get it out.
Yeah.
Put a big duct tape ball on the bottom of that stick you got, and you go in and you go for broke. And you grab the keys and you bring them out and get them out. That's because the fire department needed to be there. $1 million ladder truck, firemen standing around. We're picking keys up out of a storm drain. But the duct tape.
The duct tape.
It's an underestimated tool.
And you look at a society that is struggling to figure out results or are able to problem solve effectively.
Yeah.
Guess what they call? Again, they call the fire department because they don't know how to solve a problem.
Right. And you sometimes have to solve problems that you know you don't need to solve.
Yeah.
But again, Mrs. McGillicuddy, she called the fire department.
She's very accident prone.
That woman is, I'm going to tell you. She called the fire department because she hears a beeping noise in her house.
It's been beeping for 15 years.
Oh, I got what? So you go there and you know what it is.
Fire alarm with a low battery.
It's a smoke detector with a low battery.
Yeah.
So you pull in. Oh, how you go? Oh, is it a 9-volt? Yeah, it is. Okay, I'll put it in. No more beeps. Okay, good. Yes, we're here. I don't want to be here, but we fixed it for you. You know, lady calls one night, says, I hear this buzzing and this humming, and I don't know what it is. 3 o'clock in the morning, we're walking through this house trying to find this.
Stop it.
It's a transistor radio that her older husband was playing with earlier in the day, and he just stuck it behind his chair and thought he turned it off, and it's still going.
And he took out his ears to go to bed
Yeah.
and can't hear a thing.
We searched this whole house like an Easter egg hunt trying to find this thing. But that's,
no.
you know, that's, again, that I'm not going to be on the front page of the paper for that one.
No.
No.
But in the eyes of the public, you came and fixed the problem, right? Mm-hmm. Whether it was the bucket of crap or the radio or the keys in the drain.
Yeah.
You know, those kind of things go a long way when you help your resident. And then you have to be a realist and say, okay, thanks. And then you'll find one that doesn't appreciate it and go, well, I'm glad you were here. That's what my taxes pay. Yeah, well, I don't get any of that money.
How do you deal with the customers that need the help versus the customers that are taking advantage of the help?
You can't. You have to be an equal opportunity company, right? You know that Buckley calls 4 times a year.
Yeah.
You know, and the example is this: I have a flood prone area,
Yep.
and it floods, and their basement fills up with water
Yep.
every year when it floods. And every year we go down, pump it out. And they're not appreciative people. They just expect it.
Yeah.
I bite my tongue and I want to say, if you would go buy this is like a $350 submersible electric pump
Yep.
and put it in there,
Yeah, but you're for free.
we could probably go home.
Yeah.
So, you know you're going there. You know the address.
Yep.
You know it. You know what's happening.
Tones drop. You know exactly.
You
where
know
you're going.
before when it starts raining and you watch the weather that you're going
You're
there.
going. Yeah.
We're going on vacation.
So,
We're out.
you know, how do I don't, you can't not go, right?
Right.
And you have to put on a smile and you have to go do it. We're about public service. We got to help them out. You know, sometimes it comes with a donation. That happens more often than you think. You're like, oh, you guys came and helped me. whatever. Here. This is all I got in my wallet. They hand you $100. Go buy breakfast. Get the guys. Okay, great. We appreciate that.
Yep.
Some people don't. They just take it for granted. The pump people, I've gotten our service to the point where I can just drop the pump off. Here's the pump. Here's an extension cord. Here's a hose.
Yeah.
Call me when you're done.
Yeah. The pump people, you know who you are.
No, they
won't listen.
No,
to
they
this.
don't.
They don't.
They don't know who they are.
Yeah.
They don't.
No.
And I try to, and you know it's coming. So you have to deal with ungrateful and grateful. The lady that has the beeping smoke detector is grateful.
Yeah.
And she sends her donation checks. We solicit those funds with a mailer every year to every resident.
Yep.
And, I jokingly say sometimes, well, I'll just put that board on the wall. Be like, oh, Buckley didn't pay. Take your time, boys.
Yeah.
Take your time, boys. That's Buckley's house. He ain't giving us a dime. But we don't watch that. But we do send that. And they say, I sent my thing in. Okay, we got it. We're fine. All I could do, and you God bless these people. You have older folks that are on fixed incomes that say, is it okay? Your boxes are 35, 50, 75, 100, 125. Is it, I just sent 25. Is that's all we can afford? No, that's great. Just send it. It'll be fine.
I've never thought of this before, but now I just started thinking about it. Do you have anybody within your area that you serve bypass the 911 system and call Mr. Curcio to send that red thing over?
Oh, that's a good question, actually.
Tell me it's happened.
More often than you think.
Mr. John Curcio?
It does.
I've never thought of that before.
A couple, and for different reasons. Like the repeated things that aren't emergencies, I do have some residents that will call. Like you can't call the 7-digit to the fire station. Nobody's going to be there. Right. There's a chance nobody's going to be there. So some of them know how to contact me directly. Some of the repeat performers will call if there's something that needs done. Or some of them will call 911 and say, can you have the fire chief call me? And the 911 center calls me and says, hey.
What?
Yeah.
Sarah?
Like, it's not an emergency, but I need to talk to the fire chief. And you go up and then they're like, hey, so-and-so wants a phone call. All right, I got her number. I'll call her. And you call them and it was, whatever. Maybe they were changing batteries in their smoke detector and they weren't sure they got it right or things like that. But there is some people that would call, and some of the things that like the pumping, like the flooded basements, I'll give them my number and say, just call me when it's done. And now then you're screwed, right? Because now they'll call you, the water's rising. Like, hey, Mrs. Jones, we can't do anything till the water stops. Because
it'll just keep
when
coming.
it's flooding.
Yeah.
Where do you want me to put it? Oh, pump it out on the street. It'll run from the street back in the house. No, this is just like Dutch door English. We're just going around and around and around and around. Like, this is great. It's good. 4 hours. Just when it stops, we will come down. But they do call. I mean, they don't don't call me at like 7 p.m. and go, hey, my house is on fire. Can you send me a truck? Bye.
Yeah.
Send that red thing.
Yeah.
It's
It's on fire? No. Call 911. And there is times where I tell the person that gets a hold of me somehow, just call 911. Yeah. I'm in Dayton. Call 911. Let them dispatch the boys, and they'll be down. Right?
Yep.
I don't know. Or I call one of my officers and say, go ahead and go handle this. But it does. Things that started to happen. We've had some incidents where there was some people that needed help getting in and out of the house for treatments and ambulance things, and we knew that they were going to go, so they would just call me direct and say, hey, she needs to go to a doctor's appointment tomorrow morning at 10. Can you guys be up here? Okay, because we knew the ambulance was going to call for help. So I would try to muster up a crew early, say, who's going to be around tomorrow? We have to help get her in the ambulance. Okay, so it happens. It doesn't happen a ton, but it does happen where they call, and you try to fix it. You try to say, because they're afraid if they call 911, and they will. Like if they call 911 because they smell something funny, what they don't want is like 19 fire engines showing up at their house because that's how the alarm assignment is read, right?
Yep.
I smell smoke in my house. Okay, 19 fire engines show up, right? that's just what you get. Unfortunately. So I know you don't want to do that. Or, we have the ability to just send one company, like just send us, we're going to go check it out if they call me. But, some of that stuff, I try to avoid, as much as my people probably, my members, it probably pains them when I go handle something by myself. It's like, listen, where I come from with that situation is if I have time to go handle this and not have to rattle you out of your home from your family to do something, I'll just rather go handle it.
Yeah.
The things that you got to think of on a different level. And as I get older, I start thinking this way. Like, I know, like I got there and we don't need a fire engine, so I don't need you. What they don't understand is, you're putting $1 million piece of equipment on the road. Okay. You're putting 5 lives in jeopardy, okay? And how many other cars you pass lives in jeopardy for something that I'm there and I don't need you? Not to mention, how much did it cost to run that thing at 3 miles a gallon?
Yeah.
So, no, I'm not downplaying the fact that I don't think you're trained and ready. I'm downplaying the fact that if I can save $1, I'm going to save $1 for when I really need to spend that $1. It's not that I don't want you there or I don't want you involved. I'm trying to do the good with the bad, saying, no, he's just out there trying to be the hero. No, I'm not being a hero, because you know me and my folks know me. If it had to do with manual labor, I would have them coming. Okay? I do try to get dirty, but I also have to point. You. It's not like that. And I don't like to yell. I don't. Contrary to what you probably believe, I don't like to raise my I don't like to raise my voice. I don't like to lose my temper. I've probably done it a handful of times. They think I'm an angry Italian, but no, I don't really raise it. I try not to. One, because I feel like if I do that, you're not going to get the end result you want.
Right.
Yeah.
Number two, you're here voluntarily, and so am I. But you need to do things the right way, because if not, I am going to have a talking with you, but it's hard to do that for people that are volunteering their time. Like if you have volunteer people sweeping the parking lot, how are you going to yell and say, you missed a spot? No, they're volunteering.
Yeah. How do you, because we've heard a lot about, kind of what happens, what other captains and chiefs do after a call. Are you still able to, like, what's your after call go to? Like, do you try and debrief with them and, not yell at them, but, are you still trying to coach and train? And what's that look like?
Well, it all depends on the caliber of the call.
Yeah.
Some calls, no. There's nothing, we're going home. Other calls, if something was bad, tragic, ugly.
Yeah.
Openly, I ask, does anybody need to talk about that? And if I know that's the first time that you've seen it, like, you're going to be okay with this, And the other thing is, it's just chat. It's like we're cleaning up the rigs, we're putting hose back on, we're filling SCBA, we're doing all that. It's people chatting about stuff. And I could throw a couple things in, maybe nonchalantly. I'm not even trying. I'm like, well, what do you think it'd have done if we had attacked that from the back? What if we went up the steps instead of coming in the back door? How would that look? So you try to, and then maybe the next time we have another call where we have a meeting and we're just hanging out and we're talking a little bit, maybe we talk about something like that. But if it comes down to it, there's been incidents where all the departments that were involved get together and we kind of hot wash it, talk about what went good, what went bad. But really, it's like the mental thing when it gets into their head and it's a first bad crash or something that I really got to talk to that person and say, are you okay? Or my officers and other members will come and say, you probably ought to talk to Buckley. He's kind of rattled. Like, okay.
Yeah.
And normally they swallow their pride and you say, hey, you okay? You sure you're okay? Well, yeah, I'm fine. You don't have to own this. There's plenty of people to talk to. Not just me. You could talk to anybody. I'll bring someone else. You like this, whatever. And the county's good about that too. Like some people will reach out and say, that was a bad incident. Do you want to bring in a debriefing team? Do you want to talk? So.
Yeah, that one's hard, especially.
You got to pee? All right. We'll pause. You go pee. So anybody that's been with us for this long, Thank you. Really, like, I feel like it's some sort of achievement because this one's going. It's going good.
It's like episode 9.
Let's.
12.
This was good. This is a good like halfway point. So we'll just say F it and switch gears.
All right, go.
Yeah, we're
So
eliminating.
Switch gears.
Let's talk about some of the calls that you've been on. So let's take it back to Mrs. McGillicuddy.
Oh.
Because she seems to get in
Weeds.
trouble an awful lot.
She does.
Weeds.
Squirrel. No, really. Again, squirrel. We shall call that squirrel McGillicuddy.
So what are some of the other situations that Mrs. McGillicuddy has got herself into that you've been a part of?
Well, you know, a few episodes back, Anthony, Mrs. McGillicuddy wasn't there, but her goats were on fire. Like that legit happened.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Okay, hold on. Do you know that this man right here does not like goats?
Why?
Does like?
Why
does
do we have to?
not
We
like
could just gloss
goats.
over it.
Nope.
We could.
Nope.
We
He
could.
does not
We should
like
ship a
goats.
couple to the house in a box. Your goats have arrived. So yeah, the goats on fire was interesting. That was quite a few years back. You know, they were just running out of the barn, burning like little running fireballs, and then you heard the farmer over there, pow! Yeah, that one's gone.
Oh, we didn't know that part.
Oh yeah, a couple of them had to be
Did he say that? I don't even remember
a
that
couple
part.
of them had to be put down.
We were still pretty early in the podcast at that point. I didn't bring
Yeah,
that
we
up.
didn't know what the explicit
Yeah.
means.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
there was a couple that it was that bad, but weird calls.
This is how I say it. Have you ever said, "Did that just happen"?
I don't know, man. Like I
This is a problem with people that have been on the service so
like,
long. They're
I
like,
don't know. Like did
nothing
that
fucking phases me
did
anymore.
that-
I don't know.
Did that just happen? Like I don't. It's gonna happen, and back to the bucket. We're going to get called to it, right? They're going to send us in. Get in there, fix it. You know, snakes. I hate snakes. Right?
You get called to. Do you guys have animal control?
We do, but it's like a part-time service that's provided, and you know, so there's a snake in my house. Okay,
Fire.
send the fire department. So we
You,
go.
you don't have rattlesnakes or anything.
No. I don't. I mean, I don't like snakes, and that's true. Like you know, there's rubber snakes around the office, and Anthony
That's
doesn't
true.
like
That
snakes.
is
I don't
true.
like
Yeah.
snakes. Fred will put them places and scare us, and there'll be words said. But I don't like snakes, and she calls for a snake. So I know my stepson, God bless him, he's there, and he's like, "Where are we going?" I'm like, "We're going on a fire call." He's like, "I don't remember that fire department." I'm like, "Get in." So we go over there. Like, now what? I'm like, "There's a snake in there, right?" He goes, "Yeah." She says it's in the bathroom. Here's a box. Go get it. So, you know, I'm not touching. I don't mess with snakes.
He just said, "Okay, we got it."
Yeah, he goes in, he gets it,
Yeah.
puts it in a box, and then they're like, "Well, what are you gonna do with it?" They're like, "Oh, we'll take it back to the fire station and release it in the woods behind the fire station." I'm like, "What? No, get the serpent out of here." But no, it ends up living a nice life, eating bugs and mice and stuff.
You know nothing about snakes.
I don't know what they do, but I'm not messing with them. Okay, I don't anything that can move across the ground like that without
It's true.
legs.
It's
I
the
ain't
devil.
messing with. All right,
It is the devil.
serpents.
They don't have square eyes.
Serpents.
It's evil.
So then there was a smell of smoke in the building one day, and my assistant chief goes, "Hey, you want to come up here and check us out?" I'm like, yeah, I'll be up. I'm thinking there's a legit. I think I
Sure.
found the reason. No. Aquarium is as long as a wall with a Burmese python in it.
Damn.
I'm like, huh. And there's two other ones, right? There's two other aquariums, and that was the problem. The snake had peed and shorted out a heating pad underneath the snake.
Interesting.
So that's what the smoke smell was. That's what we ended up doing.
Yeah.
And that was the problem. So he called me up there, not because he knew what did it. He knew what he did. He called me up there because he knew I would freak out. And I looked at that resident and I said, "Ma'am?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "If there's a fire here?" She said, "Yeah."
I'm going to let it burn.
I said, "It's burning to the ground." And she said, "Well, why?" I'm like, no.
I will never
you
come
know,
back here.
Those kind of things have happened. Like I was on the job, and there was a fire, and we were a mutual aid company to this building fire, and they started handing stuff out of the building. Well, not me, but they handed it to my partner, and it was an aquarium with a snake in it. I'm like, dude, if you'd have handed me that, no, not gonna happen.
Not touching it.
No, those are some of the. I don't know if did that just happen. It's just no. I don't like to deal with that. I don't like. Did that just happen? Sometimes it's just. It just. I've never really been involved with something that I didn't think it wouldn't. Like I'm like, like there was some aha moments. Like you're working a crash and you hear bang behind you and you go.
That's not good.
That's
Should I turn around?
Yeah, like I don't even want to look back there. We were on a crash one night on the interstate, and it was slicker than shit, right? It was freezing rain, terrible, and I'm standing there next to the fire chief, and I got my safety vest on because that's going to protect me,
Yes.
right? And this Ford Explorer comes out of nowhere, and it just starts sliding and spinning, like in slow motion, and he goes, "Whoa." And it keeps going, and it keeps going. It passes us, and it keeps spinning in circles. He went, "That ain't going to end well." And it finally stopped spinning, and it just pulled straight out on the highway and kept on going. He went, "You believe that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just saw it." He went, "What do you think?" I said, "Let's get out of here." He goes, "Wow, I don't believe, I don't.
It didn't hit anything.
No, just spun like 19 times down the highway, kept on going.
Jesus.
Did he wave as he went by?
Just like,
It was like figure skating in a Ford Explorer, and I was like, "That's beautiful." I said, 10.
that's beautiful.
9.5.
Like, let's get out of here, you know? And there was times, driving those things in the weather, and Pennsylvania weather's crap. Driving that thing they'll just go, man. There's some big honking motors in these things, and they'll run, right? They got to pull all that weight around, but they don't stop. So you have to remember that when you're operating it, right? But when the weather's bad, it's even worse. So there was a time when I'm driving down the interstate, and I'm trying to it's bad. I know it's bad, and we're going to a crash, so it's already bad. We know that. But you have to get there, right? They're like, "You guys are going to help." Yeah, we're going to help, but we have to get there. So you try to inch your way up the highway. Well, I got to the crest of the hill, and I can see the car wrecking. I'm like, well, we're going to get down there. My partner goes, "How about I walk?" And I'm trying to stay in the scrum. That's what the chief called it. He's like, "Stay in the scrum on the berm. Get on the scrum, past the fog line." If you know what the fog line is, right? The fog line is the white line.
Got it.
So in the fog, you see it. Hey, I'm at the fog line. So I get in over in the scrum, and my partner's like, I'm gonna go walk down there. I'm like, "All right, be careful." I set the brakes on the truck, and then I passed him, sliding.
Shit.
Did he wave?
And he
wave?
Well, he
Yep.
called on the radio, and he's like, "What's up?" I'm like,
She ain't stopping.
"That's all we got." So I'm just in slow motion in a 35-foot long fire engine. I'm sliding down 2 lanes of traffic, slowly going sideways, just like turning the wheel, trying to not.
This is
hit.
not helping.
And then I'm almost approaching the crash that we got called to, and I'm like, "All right, you got
Buckle up.
Chalk the wheel.
you got 2 choices. Try to throttle steer this thing out of this,
Yeah.
hit the car with the person still in it, or bury it in the barrier, because there's no way I'm going to get the front end facing the side of the road."
Yeah.
So, yeah, I throttle steered it. No, I turned the wheels and got it to come off the road and ended up burying it. I didn't get it stuck, but I took it off the road into the grass.
Yeah.
and got it stopped probably 30 feet from the other side of the road where the car was. And I'm like, that was interesting. And he's like, dude, what happened? I'm like, I set the brakes and it was slick. He went, yeah. Well, he's like, you should have saw me. And I'm like, I couldn't. I had my hands full. And he says, yeah. He's like, I just stepped on the highway up there and I slid like on one foot, kind of like Gumby, like down. He's like, it was cool.
It was cool.
Like not in a 35-foot long piece of metal that I can't stop.
Yeah.
So, driving him is great, but stopping him is worse. But, again.
This is real world stuff that everybody needs to know.
Fires are going to happen when it's snowing, right?
Yep.
You got to put chains on tires. You got to chain up. You got to get there because it's going to happen. And it always seems like it happens when it's like that. So you have to prepare for that.
I'm from Arizona, and
yeah.
So
sandstorms.
Do you put chains on and just leave them on, or do you put?
Well,
obviously you're not doing it when you get called out. You're like, hey, let me get the chains on.
There's two things. There's chains now that technology has gotten better, and there's chains that mount up underneath the fire truck that when you hit a switch, air pushes the chains down, which puts a rubber tire against your inside of your tire, and it spins the chain underneath the tread of your truck.
What?
Look it up. It's called Insta Chains.
Yeah.
So you hit a switch. They put them on school buses and stuff.
Yeah.
Over here where we get weather, right?
I hope that I could, visually, that would be really, if you didn't know what we were talking about, that's very hard to.
So
if you take a mop, right? Like a regular mop.
Yeah.
And you were to spin it, like all the.
Yeah.
Like they would come out and they spin, right?
Yeah.
So imagine that, but instead of the mop bristles or whatever the fuck you want to call them, it's chain. So this thing lowers down and it starts spinning. So all these chains come out flat in a circle, and then they end up going underneath your tire while you're driving. So you get more traction, but you haven't wrapped your tire in chain. Half of the country is swearing at you right now for not knowing anything about chain or winter tires.
I have no idea.
Well,
I've never heard of it.
You won't, and that's fine. Just look it up. But the other thing is, those are only good. I mean, those are good. Roads are plowed, you can go.
Yeah.
But roads are slick or ice, you got chains. But what some of us do is I chain up, which take chains, put them over the incomplete tire, because that's the only sure way to know. Because once your tires start spinning and stuff, you're going to lose your chains. You can only go so fast. So if you chain the entire tire, you got to put them on because you got to drive in the snow.
Mm-hmm.
When you get snow up to the front bumper, there's just places you can't go.
Yeah.
And you have to wait for a four-wheel drive, or you have to, do what you got to do. You might have to hump hose all the way up over the hill because not every house is right off the road, right?
Yeah.
You might have a driveway that's 300 yards. So you might have to drive back there, and it's not plowed. Fortunately, we have good public works departments that sometimes will hear we got a call on such and such a road. They'll try to get out ahead of the fire department and plow us in so that we can make it there, and then they'll salt the crap out of the road so that we can get back out of there. But sometimes, stuff like that's going to happen. And I don't know if it can happen. It's going to happen. If it can happen, it's going to happen when it's bad out, when it's cold out. It's, but crazy stuff, those are some of the weird ones. There's other ones, I'm sure.
I mean, you guys got weird roads in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I mean, they're just not flat. There's hills, there's turns.
You get people in all sorts of weird ways over there.
I mean, I didn't make them. I didn't make the roads.
I'm aware.
I just go. It's like, that's not a big deal. I took you and Cal on an adventure, and you're like, hey, where are we going? I'm like, this is the shortcut, man. It's like a back road trail, but I mean, it's the way we go. And you think those roads are bad? Travel down and through some of my areas of West Virginia I cover.
Yeah.
Those are single lane gravel roads that they drive these big fire engines on too. So kudos to them, because at least I got pavement.
For sure.
Some of them are gravel roads, and take the gravel road, put 6 inches of snow on it, and drive a pumper that is wider than that road down this road to go to a fire when you might have to pass another car trying to come out.
Does that qualify as a road?
Yes.
In West Virginia. It's got a name.
Yeah, I mean.
Ask my Philbin about Hollywood Road.
Yeah.
Hollywood Road?
Hollywood Road, yes.
Yep.
So I think that what we see and things are just, you got, I guess maybe from the time that I've been doing it, there's like, don't surprise me.
See? That's what I said. You've seen too many things.
Like,
so now it's like,
you have some things that you thought, whoa, that didn't end well.
That didn't end well. That's
it's a good one too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you think it's going to be something and it's not, and it's like, whoa, this is going to be bad, and it's real easy. And sometimes when you're faced with that, you have to think about easy to hard. Like, you think this thing is going to be the hardest thing you're ever going to do. You're never going to get this person out of this car, and it's simple. Like, unlock the door. Oh,
Door latch still works.
yeah, like
Yeah.
open the door. So, I don't know. I'm trying to think of some other crazy ones. Recently, we had, I wasn't there personally. My members were there. There was some extracurricular activity toys scattered among the house and within the children's toys.
Oh, Jesus.
And
Christ.
there was a bottle of liquefying agent on the steps that exploded. And there was guys going down the steps because it was a slick experience. And I'm like, you
That's
can't,
like that game show where you got to try and climb up the
yeah,
stairs.
you can't make it up.
Oh,
I'm
my
like,
God.
well, I'm glad I wasn't there. But, but and I was, again, this is
I think
dating.
I might pay money to see you fall downstairs covered in lube.
No,
No.
not going to do it.
No.
There was and these are, there was we had a residential fire, and like, we get downstairs and there's no garage door on this house, but there's a Corvette in the garage
What?
that's on fire.
the garage
The
or the
house is
Corvette.
on fire.
Yeah.
The Corvette is on fire. The fire started in the basement. He had put a Corvette in the house and bricked up the garage. Like, he was never going to take the Corvette out.
What?
So, I remember that fire for two reasons. One, the Corvette in the house, and as soon as I turned the corner with another guy, the gas cap blew off the Corvette, which, yes, I soiled myself. And, turns out that they put it in there and bricked up the garage. He wasn't going to take it out.
That's crazy.
So the other thing was...
People's thought process is like,
Well, the other thing was, when we get to the attic, this is way before TP shortage, there was just cases of toilet paper and paper towel and old newspapers stacked to the ceiling in this attic.
what?
But also in the attic was a complete Volkswagen Bug
I was going to ask if there was.
in boxes, including the motor, the transmission, all the body parts, windshields, and boxes labeled. That one day he was going to rebuild it, but it was in an attic.
What?
I'm like,
The hell?
wow, okay, like, you can't make it up. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
what story would you create? The options.
Like, so I said to I wasn't the chief then, and the chief at the time was like, I need you to come with me. We got to go in there and find this stuff. He's like, it's in this room, it's in that. There was like 3 rooms. We had to go find some stuff for the homeowner. And I was like, okay, let's go. So we go in. Strategically placed in other rooms in the house were wooden boxes full of money.
I'd like to meet this guy.
Wooden boxes full of money. It's not the safest thing.
Did they burn up?
No.
Oh, well.
One of them had some water and smoke damage and a little bit of heat, but didn't really damage. I'm talking like 28-inch by maybe 15-inch by maybe a foot tall.
You can fit a decent amount of money.
How much money was in it? Like nothing?
Thousands.
Oh,
they
no
were
way.
full. They were all full. He said, and that's what he pulled him aside. He said, you need to get somebody in there in this room to get boxes. There was boxes of them. I don't remember how many boxes there were. I know there was a couple different places we had to look. There was boxes of money.
You get a picture of humanity in a whole different level.
Yeah.
Like,
I just want to know what is this dude up to?
what story can you create out of the context to which you saw? Like, that's
Like, was he gonna build the Volkswagen?
That's
in
what I'm
the
saying.
attic?
Like,
No, I think that he was going to eventually maybe pull it outside and build it. I don't know.
but why the toilet paper?
Well, I just because
Go to the
there's a lot
bathroom?
of things that don't add
I
up.
just
people save stuff, and I don't know. You know, in that particular call, that particular incident, the chief at the time was kind of, you know, he was a portly fella. And the guy that had the house was a portly fella. So we went up the next day, and the chief, my chief at the time, had some pants and some stuff for the guy because he lost almost everything in this house. So he gave him some clothes, and then he's like, all right. And then he's like, here, take some of this money out of this box. Thanks, I appreciate what you guys did. We're like, no, we can't take, no, we're not taking that money.
Damn.
But like people did that, and I guess there's probably a lot of people out there that still do that. Now they have safes and gun safes
Yeah.
and things. We've recovered those. Like, here, you know, go in and find the safe. All my documents are in there, which is the right thing to do. Sure. But you know, in doomsday, people like, I gotta stock up. You know,
Yeah.
you know, when the toilet paper shortage came, you thought you found gold. Like my own father, we had walls of it in my basement. I'm like, we don't go to the bathroom that often. What are we gonna do? What are you doing? I don't think I bought toilet paper until 2024. Because I had a fortress, a Charmin fortress in my basement.
Not sponsored.
no.
No, but it's comfy though. It's nice.
Yeah.
I'm Charmin clean.
They made a song about it and everything.
Oh yeah. Them little red bears.
Them bears. Oh Lord.
Yeah,
A bug in the attic, Corvette,
yeah.
bricked
up in the garage, and
and a toilet paper
fortress
to spare.
Yeah, and boxes of money.
And boxes of money.
That's a good one.
That is a
one.
good one.
It took you a minute to get there, but that's a good one.
I know.
I-
You got to dig a little bit.
Yeah.
And it
Just
lived. You know, you lived there, but I'm like, this is interesting.
Mm.
You know, but and there's from fires to car crashes. One of the things that, like, there's probably many people in the business that've been there, but like we were at a crash, and it was really bad. And there was probably 10 of us, 15 of us working this crash, and we could not get this kid out of this pickup truck. He was just in this pickup truck. Now, you know a little bit about rescue, so, you know, it was a single cab pickup truck. He was in this pickup truck. Doors were gone. Roof was gone. Back of the cab was gone. We had cut all that out.
Still couldn't get him up.
Cannot get this kid out.
Damn.
Pushed the dash. Could not get him out. It gets to your point where in your mind you're like, we're not, you know. So I'm not the officer in charge of this. I'm just working it. And I say, you know, we can't give up. Like, what do? You can't just walk away, say, nope, just stay in the truck, see ya. Put it on a record. You can't. You know, the helicopter had came to pick him up. They had brought the helicopter team down to the crash, which you know it's a bad sign because we can't get him out. And it's little things that you remember from your training, but it's also one of them things where you could have 15 of the best rescue guys standing there. At some point in time, you have to take them all away. We called another company in, and we all backed away for new eyes, fresh ideas to get him out because we were exhausted. Everybody was exhausted. We cannot get him out of this truck. And you can't leave him there, right? I mean, you could, but he's in a bad way. The thing of it is that guy, that fella is alive. And he's talking to us, but we can't get him out.
Yeah.
He has bilateral femur fractures. He's banged up bad, but we can't get him out.
Damn.
And it turned out, you know, the way he had smashed and hit a tree, he had pushed the floorboard together and rolled his foot in the floor pan. So his foot was stuck. We didn't have anything small enough to get in there at the time. We were cutting carpet away, we could not. You know what you needed. You needed a little spreader tool to get in there and spread, but you didn't have enough room to do it. So, you know, end of the day, that just caused it stick in my head. I'm like, well, what are we going to do? And the other company that came and the fresh guys, they were like, listen, this is what we're going to do. Talk to the flight nurse. Flight nurse like, do you have medicine? Yes. Can you push pain medicine? Yes. Okay, well, how long does it take to work? It takes about 30 seconds when I hit this thing. Okay, that's what we're going to do. They cut the laces of his boots. She pushed the medicine. She said go, and they ripped his foot out of his boot with a broken leg, so they knew it was going to hurt.
Yeah.
But that was it. And that boot is probably still in that truck in a junkyard somewhere because the metal had rolled almost all the way up till you barely had his ankle coming out, and you couldn't see the toe. You could just see the laces. So they cut the laces, and they yanked his foot up out of the boot and got him to the hospital. He's still here today, I would imagine. But it's one of those things where you've worked this for so long, you're starting to lose sight. Like nothing I'm doing is working.
Yeah.
What do we do? And I say that because after the fact, and we talked about it, I'm like, you can't just walk away. You can't be like, I'm done.
Yep.
Get on a truck, we're going home.
Yep.
Someone will call it in later. We'll let other people look at it. So you have to know when like your crew is exhausted, and when you get into technical things like that, everything we threw at this thing didn't work. Textbook stuff was done. Doors, windows, roof, dash. It's all done. Now you have this.
Yep.
So we tried to recreate it a couple times, and you have to think about that, Something as trivial as trimming the carpet around the metal to try to bend it, and then cutting his laces in his boots, saying this is the last. The next step of that would have been amputating in the field.
Yeah.
I've never been part of it, but I've heard it has happened.
Yeah.
You didn't want to get to that point.
Right.
Well, now what?
I appreciate you sharing that. That's those are a couple of good ones. Both ends of the spectrum on that one.
Yeah.
So I think we've been at this a little while now.
Yeah.
So I think this might be as good a place as any.
Let me ask one more question because I'm gonna come on.
Fine.
I just want to see how it's.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, because I'm gonna phrase this differently.
I'm gonna allow it. So,
have you walked up to a scene in complete confusion how it got to that point, and you literally cannot figure it out?
Anything is possible.
Yeah, but you couldn't figure it out because I know your brain's working.
She's for sure on camera and doesn't realize it. Yes. Hurry up. She says.
She is on camera. And
I really hope that we put that in there because
that is fantastic.
That was Ashley. She works at the front. Oh,
she does.
Yeah.
To answer your question, that just happened.
That just happened.
You mean like you're saying, like, how did this happen?
Yeah, like you're trying to figure out and you just couldn't, because most of the time you get to a scene, whether it's a car crash, whether it's a emergency scene, whatever, you have a pretty good idea what just happened or how they got to that point. But in this scenario, you still can't figure out how this scenario actually got to this point.
No, I'd have to dig real deep. I don't
There's something there.
Like,
I put $20 on it as soon as I hit stop recording.
It
You're
will
like,
come.
oh, well, yeah,
yes,
one time.
it will happen.
how did this happen? I mean, I have some other ringers, but like that, like how did it happen? Like, how it happened. I mean, your cars have been in precarious positions, and you're like, how did you do that? Well, this is way back, and not how did it happen. I know how it happened. How did you do it physically? I don't know. There was a crash, and this pickup truck, it was ugly, but people were ejected and stuff like that. But after we tended to them, we started looking. Like 12 foot up in the tree is where the truck hit the tree. He come over a hill and like Dukes of Hazzard it. He took bark off the tree up there because the bark was stuck in the front of the pickup truck. He was like 10, 12 feet in the air.
Jesus
in
Christ.
a Ford Ranger.
Ford fucking Ranger.
And I'm like, listen, Chim and Spritel, how did you get up that high, Speed? Like, there's no way. And the cop was like, I'm telling you that I'm like, did a piece fly off? Did it? He's like, I think they were that high. Now, to kind of paint the scene, there was a hill, the truck come over a hill, and then there was a big valley.
Okay.
Next to it, next to the hill. Like you went over this hill and down in the valley. So he hit the top of the hill, hit the tree. When we're standing in the valley, it's like 10 foot up. So really, he just came straight across and smacked, and then it started to roll, and people flew out and all kind of stuff. But yeah, like,
But in you have to be hauling ass at that point.
Oh, I'm sure they were. You know,
Ford Ranger.
It's like,
God.
You know, are you okay? Yeah. How fast were you going? 70. Because the speed limit on this road is 70. How fast are you going? 70. How are you going? 45. You know, and it's those things when you get there. And the other thing is, like, whether it's an overdose or a car crash, and there's drugs or alcohol involved. Like, I'm the fire department, right? So when you get there, you're like, are you okay? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, listen, I'm not going to arrest you. I don't care. I just need to know what you did or what's going on to make this better. I have no arresting powers.
Yeah.
Or you get to the one where they goes, hey, man, you get me out of here? I'm like, well, yeah, like the ambulance is coming. No, like, get me out of here before they get here. I'm like, no.
No.
Well, I can't do that.
No.
Like, come on, man, get me out of here. And you got to get on the radio and be like, hey, can I get the police to step it up? They're trying to leave. Like, I'm not going to fight you.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't get paid enough to fight you.
You get paid nothing.
You
in
just
fact.
crashed the car. What do you do with that? Like, I'm not going to fight you. But as far as, like, how did that happen? Like, that was a pretty interesting, and I'm sure there's many that, you know, the funny story when you asked me how that happened, I'm not prided myself because I'm not a bad person, but I don't like to talk to the media.
Fair.
Don't trust Buckley.
Yeah. I have a job to do, right? So, you know, when they show up, they'll be pointing and they'll be like, oh, the chief's over there, you need to talk to him. I'm like, don't even point to me. Like, I don't like,
Point to me.
I don't like, I tend not to, sometimes I try to like not have the big pompous white hat on and all that, because that's the guy that's in charge. And I'm like, no. And I love going to mutual aid calls, and I'm like, hey, this ain't my party. It's over there. And I'll dime them out because they would dime me out. But so my wife was with me, and it was a house fire, and I don't do well with the reporters, like, you know. So she walks up to me and she's like, Chief, what happened? And I'm like, it burnt. And this little girl, you know, you just picture, I think it was a little girl, she had like I'm picturing with a press hat on that says like scoop in it, and she's like, there's no patch. It burnt. She goes, it burnt. I'm like, yeah. Well, can you come over? We got the camera on. We're going to just get a statement like, it burnt. And she's like, well, what happened? And I'm like, well, there was a fuel source. And she says, yes. I'm like, and there was a heat source. She says, yes, and there was oxygen. She said, yes, and a chemical reaction came together and it burnt. It's a fire triangle. And she goes, that's really all I'm going to get out of you. I'm like, yeah. Oh, and one lady went to the hospital. She's like, I can't. And my wife, who was there at the time, she's like, I can't believe you did. I'm like, no, I don't. Like, you know, as a young firefighter directing traffic, and I still do it to this day, it's like, you know, what happened? Read it in the paper. What? Read it in the paper. Watch the news. Come on.
Keep on going.
You know, it's those questions that you get that when you start to lose hope for
humanity.
For humanity.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's 3:30 in the morning. It's 35 below zero. Okay? My patients are already, you don't know anything about it. My patients are already shot. There's a fire engine in the road.
Yeah.
The lights are on. And they pull up and go, road closed? It's like whatever his name is, Foxworthy stuff. Like, here's your sign.
Here's your sign.
Like, road closed? No. No. Every Sunday at 3:30 a.m. we try the lights out in the cold weather just to see how they work in the cold. Have a nice day.
Here's your sign.
Like, I don't, yes, it's closed. And then you get creative, and I have young ones, and they have moved up through the ranks. What happened? Shark attack. So if you want to see the public's eye,
yeah.
they come up next to you, and you're like, yeah. What happened up there? Shark attack. Oh my. Really? Yeah, came right up out of the river. Right up. Walked up here. Jabberjaws walked up and just bit somebody.
And then their house burst into flames.
And then they're like, oh. And then they look at you and they know they've been had. They're like, oh, that was not a shark attack. I'm like, no.
No. Oh, man.
And that's just kind of how, and probably everybody in the business has that side where you're just, because of what you've seen that you don't want to remember, you play it off on those things to bring it. And I use the humor a bit, probably too much, but you bring it up, and that's just how it goes. And, you know, but the public will look at you, and you're a voice of authority. Shark attack, and they're like, oh. And like the driver's still in shock, but the passenger's like,
I knew that was a problem.
Say shark attack?
I've always known the sharks were bad here.
Or you say shark attack, gator, you know, Loch Ness.
Walk right in, yeah.
Yeah, old Nessie, she just went down Pigeon Creek there. We're watching, you know. But the road closed thing, like, is the road closed? No. Now that you stopped and asked, no. Come on. Those lights look good at night, though, don't they?
Yeah.
They look good, huh?
Yeah, we're looking for customer feedback. If you could, please fill out this survey.
No, we always come out at 3:30 in the morning on the coldest night of the year to make sure our lights work. Yeah. Yes, it's closed. Why do you think I'm sitting here? Or, now, if you two came and you don't know the area, I get it. But it's like the ones that they know, and they're like, well, but I live right up there. I'm like, I know. You can't go that way. Well,
why not?
How am I going to get home? I'm like, well, if you go back to town and come out the other way and come up, you can get there. But I always go this way. Yeah, I know, but you can't today. Like, I'm not here to reason with you.
Yeah.
And I can't, like, teleport you to your house. You have to go but I always go this way. Then you have to start explaining directions. And you got to go down here, make a left. Like, is that by that 7? Yes. Yeah. Okay. And then come out to, no, you went there. You went too far. You live here. I know. And it's not like I would know. You're strangers. You don't live here. But the people that I mightn't be familiar with, like, I know. There's another way to get there.
Yeah.
But I always go this way. Like, I don't know what to tell you, Rain Man. You have to go another way. I know.
Well, I think they'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, that just puts a bow on it.
All right, last thing. I'll leave everybody with this. You're a volunteer fire chief.
Yeah.
We talked about community, disconnect, people. What's one thing you wanna put out there for everybody to know? Help your fire department fundraise, young kids looking to come by. What is it?
I'm speechless on that. I don't know what I want everybody to know. I know that if you're in the business and you're in the fire business in a volunteer role, education to the public on what you do and don't do, how you're funded and how you're not funded. The public needs to know what really goes on. And I don't think they know that enough. So if we can do anything right, we need to educate the public and make your fire station known it's there and it has an open door for members. But that's really it. Like, educate, whether you're educating elected officials or the public, and then keep educating your men and women that are in line. to educate, because it's not in that our situation is not going to get better until the public really knows what goes on.
Yep.
They just know that when they call, a truck is going to show up, and it's always been that way.
Yep.
But what happens if it didn't?
Yep. Okay.
Good.
Well, appreciate your time. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, I was here anyway, so it's
Should be a good weekend. We'll see what happens.
It will be.
Thank you.
Well, thank you,
Thank
guys.
you. It was a pleasure. It was.
I hope if I get one listener,
We might get 2.5.
What are we up to?
17, I think.
Your dad will listen now, so
Ooh.
maybe that's 18.
no,
Yeah.
he won't.
No,
My
it's
wife
Not
will
with the
listen.
cold.
Oh, yeah, your wife will listen, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
18, maybe.
It's like 3 hours long. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Cal, you're gonna have to cut some of this.
Oh.
It's all staying in.
A lot of fast forward rewinding.
Can't wait till we tell Ashley that she's going to be on the podcast.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
going to be fantastic.
yeah.
It is.
All
She's
right.
next.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you tuning in. If you're still here, God bless you.
For
Thank you.
real.
Later.
Later.
Bye.